Dear journalists, hello. We continue to work in the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. We'll talk about the sharpening or aggravation of the situation around Mariupol. We'll have on Skype Stepan Makhsma, who is mayor of Sartana village, Iryna Kozka, volunteer of the NGO Future of Azov area, and Iryna Perkova, who is head of the public television of Azov area. Hello. First of all, I'd like to give the floor to Stepan Makhsma, who is mayor of the Sartana village. The aggravation of the situation around Mariupol started in the night from 16th to 17th of August, when the village of Sartana, which belongs to the city of Mariupol, was shelled, and there were people killed and wounded. There was a lot of destruction. Could you please tell us what happened on that night? What is the situation in the village now? How people assess the situation? Well, we are now working. We are working on the stabilization of the situation so that our population do feel the support of the village council and the city council and everybody who provides support and help. For those who don't know, well, on the night of 16th to 17th, on the 17th of August, there was a shelling from the east, as the monitoring mission of OSCE says. Our military have conducted the analysis of the fall of the projectiles. They have defined what was the distance from which they shelled the village. As a result of the shelling, 2 people died immediately and 1 young girl died later in the hospital. 6 people were wounded. As of today, a 10-year-old girl is being treated in a Kiev hospital, and she will be transported for further rehabilitation and prosthetics to a German clinic. Yesterday we visited people who suffered as a result of the shelling in the Mariupol City Clinic number 4. There are 3 people there still with heavy traumas. They say that they will recover in 2 or 3 months. At the moment, the works are conducted to restore dwellings, and 122 buildings were damaged to different extent. 5 of them were hit directly, and those buildings were completely ruined. 2, the metallurgic combine named after Ilyich undertook to restore 2 buildings, and as far as another building is concerned, the extraordinary session of the city council channeled money to buy 1 building. Then there is an analysis of another building, whether it can be restored, rebuilt, and what to do with it. So, as a result, all the 5 destroyed buildings will work to try to restore them fully or to provide alternative dwelling for the residents. As far as the current help is concerned, on the 26th of August, at the session of the City Council, they decided to give money as a financial support, as material support for the restoration of houses, although also brigades, teams of from the metallurgic combine of named after Ilyich of Metinvest Group work helping to restore buildings, and there's a lot of residents who have started restoration works on their own. Also, international organizations are helping us, the Red Cross, the Danish Council, the refugees agency of the UN. They provide us with building material, tiles, nails, planks, concrete, and so on. This allows us to give it faster to the residents and to quicker restore the buildings. So in brief, this is all. I only want to say that Sartana was not alone. It was not abandoned, and the residents do feel the support and help that everybody around is providing, everybody concerned. Mr. Makhsma, what are the moods in Sartana? Do people fear another shell and have people left the settlement? What is the atmosphere in the village? Despite all the actions, the people do not leave en masse. We have some individual cases when people who were probably afraid, they went to their relatives in the city of Mariupol, but we also see that the majority of residents stay at home. But as far as the mood is concerned, I'll tell you honestly, the mood is stably concerned. People are constantly awaiting. Every night we see shots and explosions somewhere away, and people are concerned about this. Today we know and understand that the residents of Sartana do not have enough information. Not enough information about where they are shooting and firing, why, what they target, and this does cause concern. And the lack of information brings about different rumors that we meet for several months already. And I think that we all together with the military, together with the OSCE, should give more information, everybody in their own vein. The military have to provide information along the military line, and the OSCE as far as along the monitoring line, and we as the body of local self-government have to provide information about our work and about life supply for the settlement. Everybody should assume responsibility and work in the village. What are people's hopes linked to? We understand that this is peace, but how they see peace? Everybody hopes for, pins their hopes on the highest leaders of the country, on the president, on the commander-in-chief. Everybody hopes that this war is stopped, and we see that people are fed up with living in fear, and people just don't want to hear the noise of shots and lose their near and dear. Sartana has lost 11 people already, and 27 people are undergoing and have undergone treatment. So everybody is expecting peace and awaiting the end of war. Thank you, Mr. Makhsma. And now I give the floor to Iryna Kozka. She is a volunteer, and she is responsible for Ukrainian Marines and border guards. And you know, the aggravation started on the 16th to 17th when Sartana was shelled, but there are victims among the military as well. You go to Volnovakha, tell us what's happening.
Today, as of today, I would like to say the first line of defense, which starts from Shirokino. Since I started to deal with Marines, we're talking about the line of Shirokino, Lebedinska, Sartana. They are based in Sartana. The guys, their spirits is really very strong. They take care of the defense, but they have some difficulties. There are some lacks of supplies and some fortification. That's why this results in the casualties among those people, first of all. As regards, well, unfortunately, there are some shelling in sector more go to towards Donetsk on the right side, and starting from the Kucharsk on that side, we always are we can hear permanent shelling. It could be Shirokino, Sartana, Prebrezhny, etc., etc. They do not, the fire is not seized. The military guys, all of them are, honestly speaking, they are looking forward to start an attack or offensive, but there is no command to do that. There is a command to provide the response, firing response. When if we are talking about the people who are directly stationed there, we were talking before we were on the air, and what happens to the local residents in Sartana, what the mayors told us, must be more information. As Stepan, now they have a project, so on September 1st and September 12th, this is birthday of the village of Sartana, and since it's mostly the Greek ethnic population, they're going to have some kind of Greek wrestling, etc. Today we have the first function for the September 1 in Zaret, Alkovka, and some others, in order for the local residents to develop or to build up some confidence or trust in the servicemen, so that the children do not fear their own persons. There are quite a lot in our village. We plan some kind of event in the schools where the servicemen will come, not only carrying some gifts or presents, and they also will say some nice words addressed to the children. We are going to be involved in negotiations with the principals of those schools, and maybe we should make sure that there are some specific lessons dedicated to this topic, or specifically some military-related topics, and this will build up the trust and confidence in the military guys. And there's no secret that following those numerous shellings, the children started to be afraid and to fear the military guys, or the guys in military uniforms. We are going to do something about that. As for the day of the village of Sartana, on the part of the people I take care of, they organize some soccer games, football games against the veterans of the Ukrainian football. They also plan some events to award these certain people, and on annual basis, maybe Stepan Makhsma can tell more about what they plan to do. They plan to invite quite a few people. They are going to extend invitations to the monitors of OSCE to ensure the safety and security of the people, and people will have more trust in those. They plan some kind of actions to calm down the local population, or whatever. Well, yeah, I believe, the people is very much intimidated, and they're afraid, and they are more or less have to digest the consequences of those shellings. Yeah, we have somehow to do everything possible to distract them from those grievous events, and maybe there will be some right opinion expressed which will have its impact and change their attitude towards the Ukrainian military guys. You also visited Alkovka yesterday. What's going there and sentiments of the people? The situation today is much better than during my previous trip there, and we are blessed that of late the shells do not reach those, but they every day they hear the sounds of the shelling, and they are still afraid of that. In the military positions, they were moved away from Telakovka And usually the shelling is targeted on the military positions, not on the village proper. And the people are more or less, they more or less come down. They are very patriotic. They wish very much to reach peace. As for Volnovakha, again, in Volnovakha, there are quite a lot of military guys. It's well protected, and I more deal with the border guards or checkpoints in Volnovakha and Berezova, 15 kilometers away from Donetsk. It's kind of the last checkpoint for the next, where there are border guards. And what people fear, there are a lot of vehicles and a long line of trying to pass from Donetsk to Mariupol. As for the combat actions around Volnovakha, this kind of combat actions take place at least 15 kilometers away from Volnovakha. They still hear the explosions and the sounds of shelling, but I'm talking about the civil population. The other sentiments you can find among military guys. But again, I might say that the first line of defense is not completely, completely insured, but that's why we have some casualties. I cannot give you an exact figure, but the figures which I heard, they're really terrible. And why it happens? Number one, our fighters are not really prepared if we're talking about tactical medicines. For some reasons, there are just a few trained like that. We volunteers try to do everything possible in order to start training in tactical medicine, and a decision has been passed to launch some kind of premises where this training will take place for the border guards. The second reason for the casualties now among our servicemen and the first line of defense, but because this line is not completely reinforced, there are some of the, let's say, fortifications which cannot endure the victim shelling. Some lacking a lot. I mean, we know for sure that there are some things in the Ministry of Defense. I don't know why they do not supply those things in due time, and we try to investigate into that, into the reasons of that. But but the guys locally on the sides, it's easier for them to address the volunteers, because volunteers operate much faster than the Ministry of Defense. Unfortunately, we cannot ensure and supply whatever all they need in order to, which has a vital importance to those guys of ours.
Thank you very much. If there are questions from journalists, we are ready to answer. Stanislav Feshchenko, 1+1. I don't know whether you see me. No, we do not, but we do hear you loud and clear. So my question is to Iryna. You heard about some scary figures about those who were killed around Volnovakha. Can you tell us over which period and what are those figures? And the volunteers say that 8 people died in the last 2 days. Well, I am not sure that I have the right to quote those figures because they are unconfirmed. This is what I hear from the people, but it's about 21 over the last day. 21 dead over the last day. I heard this today from a military person. Is it next to Mariupol? It was Prokhorivka, well, the line of defense to the side of Volnovakha. And who quoted this figure? Was this the command, or maybe medical services, or maybe residents? We haven't been able to check so far. I don't have any confirmed data on this. Thank you. Any other questions, please? If there are no other questions, thank you for your report, in fact, frontline report. We hope that we'll talk to you again soon and hope that peace will be established soon. Thank you. Our briefing is over and our next